At this time, we'd like to invite you to rise if you are able and remove your hats. It's time now to honor America as the Western Washington University Band plays our national anthem. Now let's meet the starting lineups for tonight's contest. First, the visitors from Central Washington University. Fans, at this time, before our lineups, we would like to begin by acknowledging that we gather today on the ancestral homelands of the Coast Salish peoples who have lived in the Salish Sea Basin throughout the San Juan Islands and the North Cascades watersheds from time immemorial. Please join us in expressing our deepest respect and gratitude for our indigenous neighbors, the Lummi Nation and Nooksack tribe, for their enduring care and protection of our shared lands and waterways. Now, let's meet the starting lineup for the Central Washington Wildcats. At guard, a 6'3" senior, 0, Isaiah Banks. At guard, a 5'11" senior, number 2, Brock Gilbert. At guard, a 6'5" junior, number 11, Cameron McNeil. At forward, a 6'6" junior, number 24, Samad Hector. And at forward, a 6'6" senior, number 25, Matt Poquette. Central Washington, coached by Brandon Renta. Coach Renta is assisted by Drew Church, Kelton Williams, and Blake Cleveringa. Viking fan, are you ready? Man, this is your chance to show your love. We're about to meet the starting lineup for your Vikings, but first up, show your love for tonight's honorary coach, John Henson. Here we go with your Viking starters. At guard, a 6'4" sophomore, number 1, KJ Kai Johnson. At guard, a 5'10" junior, number 5, the Rocket, D'Angelo Menace. At forward, a 6'9" sophomore wearing number 20, Nick Velp. At forward, a 6'7" senior, number 11, Lucas Holden. And at forward, a 6'8" redshirt freshman, number 23, BJ Colley. Your Vikings, they're coached by Tony Dominguez. He is assisted by David Dunham, Bob Hofstetter, Otavio Jude, and A.J. Albritton. 6-man, it's game time!
So good evening and welcome to today's match here at WECU Court, Vikings TV. We've got Central Washington coming here to Western Washington, the two rivals. Central sitting at 2-5, fifth in the GNAC, tied for it. Vikings with a three-way tie at 3-4 in the GNAC. Zen Hill joined by Butch Kamina for tonight's match.
The 264th meeting of these two schools goes all the way back to 1908. This is the classic rivalry of non-Pac-12 basketball in the Pacific Northwest.
We've had some great matches between these two teams in their history. Last year, these two teams had a nail-biter here at WECU. Buzzer beater from Jalen Green gave the Vikings the victory. Central has the ball to start it off here. Handling at the top is Paquette for them. Matt Paquette, mid-range jump shot is no good for the first shot of the game. Rebounded by BJ Colley for the Vikings. Vikings, two new starters in this lineup. Trying to switch it up. They've dropped 6 of their last 9 games, falling to a record of 10-7. They started 7-1 on the year. Nick Velp and Lucas Holden make the starting lineup tonight. And that's BJ Colley down low, 10 on the shot clock. D'Angelo Menace on the wing, 5 seconds on the shot clock. He's got to get him. Little back behind the pass. BJ Colley drives.
Oh. Use every bit of the shot clock. Very patient from Menace and Colley there.
Good to finish through contact right there for BJ Colley as well. And handling is Isaiah Banks for Central. He falls, slipped, but he got the pass off still to Paquette. Paquette kicks back outside. 3-point jump shot. Is it good? No, it doesn't. Backer in. Rebound hold Lucas Holden. Kai Johnson with the ball for the Vikings. Menace steps to the right. 3-point shot. He puts it up short. Nick Velp with the rebound through the contact. Unable to finish it, though. Central's right back on the offensive attack. Brock Gilbert drives in. Paquette, his 3-point shot. Bounces around, no good. Colley gets the rebound. Teams going back and forth so far. Can't get a bucket. Vikings up 2-0. Menace out to Velp. Switches over to Kai Johnson. Little handoff to Menace. Menace driving left side. Lost control of the ball. Turnover. Gilbert has it for the Central Washington Wildcats. Little behind the back handoff pass right there. McNeil drives. Good pass to Paquette. Trying to get his man to jump. Got a little bit of contact. Good by Nick Velp on defense. Also gets a rebound. The Vikings trying to get a bucket here. Colley. BJ Colley kicks Velp. Holden calling for it down low.
Well, it has a mismatch.
And they're trying to work it around, get the angle to him. He wants it. Colley drives in, and they're going to get him with an offensive foul. Turning it over, Paquette hitting the deck.
So this has been a theme for the Vikings. BJ Colley's averaging 16 points, almost 8 rebounds, almost 4 blocks in the last 4 games. It'd be even higher, but 3 of those 4 games he's been in foul trouble. Played barely 20 minutes, and now we get one the other way.
So the Vikings even it back up right there. Going back to what you said, yeah, BJ Colley been on fire recently, but he's leading the team in personal fouls so far. He's got 58, which is 17 more than any other player on this Vikings squad. So getting in foul trouble limits his minutes so far this season, and if he can stay on the floor, that's the most successful thing that the Vikings could have. Either way, we're still 2-0, almost approaching 3 minutes down in this first half. Teams neck and neck still so far, trying to buy a basket. Kai Johnson takes a 3-point shot. No good. Rebound. BJ Colley put back right there for a bucket.
BJ Colley 4 and 9 other guys looking for a bucket.
And he finds it too. Good offensive board by him. And right there we're going to get Illegal screen going the other way, or a little push off it was by Isaiah Banks trying to get open on the wing.
Yeah, trying to get himself free from Lucas Holden. You see Colley with that first layup there.
So the Vikings back on offense. Scored a basket off an offensive foul in their last possession. Johnson drives in, has it almost ripped from him, gets it back. Layup is good. Vikings 6-0. Central Washington, Brock Gilbert with the ball. The senior gives it to Paquette. The wing is Cameron McNeil. Hector to the cutting Gilbert. Kicks corner, Paquette unable to catch it though. A low pass goes through his hands and it's a turnover for the Wildcats.
Central just struggling to find a little continuity at the offensive end right now as Kai Johnson just kept working his way to the basket and finally got the layup.
Using the toughness to rip it back into his own hands. D'Angelo Menace hits Holden in the corner. Get it down low to B.J. Colley. Double team is there for the contact. He makes it. B.J. Colley 6 points already. And that's going to get a timeout right there from Central Washington. So the Vikings up 8-0 early. We'll be right back from Vikings TV. So welcome back here to WECU Court, where the Vikings have hopped out to an early 8-0 lead, forcing the Central Washington timeout. So far, B.J. Colley 6 points already. Butch, what are the Vikings doing well?
Getting to the rim. All 8 points in the paint, all right around the rim. B.J. Colley with a drive, a post up, a put back, and then Kai Johnson with that nice attack of the rim. Central so far 0 for 4 from the field with 3 turnovers. Wildcats not a great record right now. It's 6-10 and 2-5 in the GNAC, but they are coming off. They are on a 2-game winning streak. They have been playing better of late. A little bit of work to do here to get back in this one early, but over the years we've seen a whole lot of in this series, one team getting an early lead that shrinks quickly at some point in the night.
These two teams will be fighting back and forth all night for their advantage, as that one's mishandled by the Wildcats. Here's a 3-point shot. No good right there. Fighting for the rebound was B.J. Colley, and he threw it out of bounds a little bit as Samad Hector came in there. And as you said, Central Washington, 2-game winning streak. Right now, most GNAC teams approaching the midway season in that conference play, that is. So a chance to turn it around maybe. Central, of course, 2 games straight. These two teams currently in 3-way ties. That one's blocked by Lucas Holden. Outlet pass to Kai Johnson. Johnson gives it to Colley. Colley gets it blocked back, though. Good transition defense by the Wildcats as they get an outlet pass right there to Banks. Banks puts up a right-hander, and he makes it for the first basket for the Wildcats. What a turn of events right there.
2 great blocks, one at each end.
Colley in the corner. They're leaving him open. He takes a 3. Will it roll in? It does. B.J. Colley, corner 3.
We say it at least once every night. The softest rim in the GNAC.
Exactly. Friendly to most shooters. B.J. Colley getting the nice roll. Driving kick for the Wildcats. 3-point shot to answer. They do. 3-pointer, Samad Hector. And it's 11-5. Vikings still up by 6. Lucas Holden driving left side. Gives it out to Velp. Back up to Johnson. They'll reset. Velp with a double team. Excuse me, Johnson with a double team. Kicks out. D'Angelo Menace. Open 3-point shot. No good on it. Rebound right there. There's Matt Paquette. They're going to get a foul on Nick Velp with a hold. Some substitutions coming for both sides. Jonathan Ned coming in for the Vikings, and
yeah, both teams ran to the bench thinking it was a media timeout, but because Central had burned that timeout. We've already used the media break, so they'll stay on the floor.
And it seems like there's a little bit of confusion from both sides around. The cheerleaders thought it was a media timeout, as did most of the players.
Yeah, both teams looked at the clock and immediately took off, and the referees are going, no, you're out here. We had cheerleaders on the floor. We had everything, but a little early.
We're still here. Vikings up by 6. Central Washington with the ball. 15 left in this first half. Brock Gilbert handling it. I think they're going to get D'Angelo Minnis on the hand check. Guarding Brock Gilbert, trying to get around that screen. So Minnis picks up his first. Landis Spivey inbounds the ball. Brock Gilbert with it once again, calling for the screen. He'll take it around, splits the defenders, gives it out to the wing. Spivey out, back to Gilbert now. Spivey, wing three-point shot with 8 on the shot clock. Offensive rebound, though, for Central Washington. Samad Hector getting up there above the Vikings. The lead is cut to 4. Jonathan Ned with the ball for the first time in this game. Holden swings far side, Johnson. Kai Johnson in the corner, left side. Right-handed layup and the and one finish. He'll go to the line with a chance for 3.
Kai Johnson with that quick first step on the baseline to get him by the defender. We'll see this big hook pass by Holden, kind of unique. And then getting to the baseline, fighting through the contact for the and one.
Switching right there with his right hand to get the little floater finish. Getting the contact on the arm, and he goes to the line with a chance at 3. Johnson now with 5 points in this game so far, and the Vikings are up 14-7. Hornbuckle is in for the Vikings. Him and Ned did not make the start tonight. Vikings switching it up, but they come off the bench now trying to energize possibly this second unit. There's a nice pass inside, and Lucas Holden picks up the foul. There's Matt Paquette right there, a good find from Gilbert. It's going to be a shooting foul as well, so Paquette is going to go to the line.
Matt Paquette, the 6'6" senior from Morton. It just feels like he has been around forever. One of the sort of the stalwarts of this rivalry over the last few years.
He misses the first one as Nick Velp comes back in for the Vikings, and Matthew Mays makes his first appearance of this game. So Holden and BJ Colley will sit down. Central Washington with Brock Gilbert, Landis Spivey, Samad Hector, Colby Jeanette, and Matt Paquette on the floor for them. Paquette's second free throw, he makes it. So he goes 1 from 2 from the charity stripe. Vikings still holding a lead of 6. Kai Johnson with the ball. Johnson over to Velp. Velp, three-point shot, top of the key. Just on back rim with it. Now in transition is Spivey. Spivey pulls it back, though. Gilbert finds a cutting Paquette. Slam dunk alley-oop. What a pass.
What a great look. Paquette just streaking down the back door in a sense there on the weak side to get that dunk.
And a good finish from him. Jonathan Ned outside. Pull up mid-range jump shot. Rolls out. Rebounded right here. Brock Gilbert pushing up the pace for the Wildcats. Guarded by Mays. Gilbert switched on now with Hornbuckle. Vikings up by 4. He'll pull up long three-point shot. Almost made it. He didn't. Offensive rebound, maybe. They're fighting for it. He's on the ground. Kicks out corner. Landis Spivey three-pointer. No good. Another offensive board and a putback from Samad Hector. And after a few offensive boards, Tony Dominguez is going to call a timeout as the Vikings are only up 14-12. 2-point lead now as we go into a timeout break, and we'll be right back here on Vikings TV.
Welcome back to WECU Court at Sam Carver Gymnasium. The Vikings with a 14-12 lead. They jumped up 11-2, but Central has made a run. Samad Hector with 7 quick points to help the Wildcats get back in it.
Vikings with the ball out of the timeout. Isaac Morrow kicks out Ned. Ned corner, Kai Johnson. Johnson, little spin move, fade away, mid-range shot, short on it though. Getting the rebound right there was Jeanette. Jeanette with the ball as well for the Wildcats. Gives it to Spivey. Driving was Jeanette, tried to get a poster.
How often have you seen an attempted dunk bounce off the top of the board?
He tried it, but for no luck right there, couldn't get up. That's a 3-point shot right there. Isaac Morrow. And the Vikings hit from 3 for the second time in this game. BJ Colley had that corner one. So now they're up by 4. Seems they actually ruled it a 2. So there's a little turnaround from Jeanette. Blocked by Kai Johnson right there. Good defense, but Wildcats still finish on it. Vikings up by 2. Kai Johnson with the ball. Trying to get an open shooter. Pass was to Marcus May, but Landis Spivey got in the way of that as D'Angelo Minnis comes in for Kai Johnson. So there's going to be a timeout on the floor, but we're going to keep things here for now. So far through this first quarter, 11:36 left. The Vikings are up by 2, 16-14. And what has Central done to battle back, Butch?
Well, first of all, it's simplistic, but they started to make shots, and I think they got better shots. Samad Hector they got a couple open looks at threes, and they also hit the offensive boards a little bit. The Wildcats have 5 offensive rebounds off of just 9 missed shots from the field, so that's been a difference. And we saw that earlier timeout by Tony Dominguez kind of getting into his team.
And something about this Wildcats team that I've seen this season is they always out-rebound their opponents. Right now, their offensive rebounds, especially 2. Offensive, they're usually out-rebounding this season by a total of 13, but defensive and offensive. But so far, we've seen those offensive boards really giving them second chance points.
Yeah, out-rebounding their opponents overall by about 4.5 a game. And even though they aren't a particularly big team, they have, Rizzi on the bench is 6'9", but other than that, it's a lot of 6'5", 6'6" guys that just bang hard.
And you see on the replay right here, that was that Isaac Morrow 3-point shot that they reviewed and looked at and made it a 2.
Fine lines, huh?
Exactly. If he was wearing one size smaller, 3-point shot for the Vikings, but unluckily they just lead by 2 now as we're coming out of the timeout here. Vikings with the ball, made inbound. Marcus Mays. Jonathan Ned driving, steps through, dishes off Morrow down low, kicks outside Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle, 7 on the shot clock. Hornbuckle one-on-one, drives right side, tries to pull it back, puts up a contested jump shot, way short on it. That's going to be a shot clock violation for the Vikings. Central will get the ball with a chance to maybe grab their first lead of the game. Isaiah Banks handling it for the Wildcats. Guarded by Minnis. Banks. Pass was tipped but handled. Outside is Gilbert. Gilbert drives inside. Kicks out Banks. Banks drives to the left. He's got a wide open lane and a wide open layup. So now the game is tied. Vikings have to answer right here. 16-16. Minnis with the ball. Approaching that halfway point in the first half. Morrow down low, losing control of it, and it's turned over. Central almost turned it over themselves, but Spivey saves it. He's got a one-on-one little floater, and he makes it.
He took off from about a foot inside the foul line. Almost looked like he was off the wrong foot there and just hit the little runner to finish.
Yeah, as you said, seemed a little bit awkward for him right there. Didn't get the steps he wanted, but luckily his hands were working right. Jonathan Ned, little pull-up mid-range shot from the elbow is no good.
Vikings have kind of stagnated at the offensive end the last few possessions, not getting great looks.
And on the other side, the Wildcats moving it around very well, finding the open holes in this Vikings defense. They missed the shot right there, but they still lead by 2. It's Hornbuckle for the Vikings, gets hip checked right there by Landis Spivey. And after the foul, BJ Colley is going to come in for the Vikings, as well as Samad Hector is returning. Lucas Holden will take out Marcus Mays. Perfectly halfway through this first half, and Central now leads by 2. Vikings at one point were up by 9. Hornbuckle handles it for them. Holden on the wing gives Ned. Ned driving left side, left-handed layup is good.
Nice.
Good finish from Jonathan Ned. 2
posts work together. Ned set kind of a back screen for BJ Colley to go to the low post, and it actually freed him up to get the ball.
So the Vikings finding an open lane for the first time in a while. There's a 3-point shot to silence it, though. Isaiah Banks from downtown. And Central leads by 3.
Isaiah Banks, just a 23% three-point shooter, but looked very confident on that one. His 7th three-pointer of the year.
7 points on the game as well. Lucas Holden has a little mid-range jump shot. He got fouled on it. And Spivey contesting the jump shot will send Lucas Holden to the free throw line for his first. So you can see on the replay right here, that back screen you were talking about kind of drew the switch and then caught Jeanette in bad positioning.
A lot of times you can create as much room for the screener as you can for the person being screened in that off-ball action. That was really nice.
Vikings will need more of that, as well as Lucas Holden hitting these free throws. He makes the first one.
Lucas Holden just a shade under 82% from the foul line.
Cameron McNeil came in for the Wildcats, and Kai Johnson will take out Hornbuckle.
Cameron McNeil's their leading scorer on the year, 15.4 points a game. He hasn't taken a shot yet. In fact, he doesn't have a stat yet, not a rebound, not a turnover, not a foul. He's just very quiet first 5 minutes, and then he's come back in after a rest. Let's see if he gets rolling.
Central Washington has 3 players that average double-digit scoring. Of course, McNeil, Paquette, and Samad Hector in those. There's McNeil, down low, Hector. Hector spinning around, Colley's there. Hector puts it up. Shot may have been blocked, but it was also just good defense from BJ Colley as that one goes out of bounds. So out of bounds, and it's going to say Wildcats ball. Colby Jeanette to inbound. Sophomore for this team gives to the senior, Brock Gilbert. The 5'11 senior Gilbert handling it. Guarded by Minnis. Down low with a little spin move right there. Puts it up, unable to make it though. Lucas Holden with the rebound. Kai Johnson, Vikings trailing by 1. Johnson down low to BJ Colley. Colley working his way down there, finishes through contact, just using that big body to get down there.
He's playing with so much confidence right now. He just doesn't believe anybody can stop him.
And they can't.
No.
Or at least not as we've seen.
Or at least they haven't.
Yeah, we haven't seen anyone stop him yet. And he's got 11 already in this game. See on the replay, just backing down his opponent, finishing through the contact and getting his 11th bucket of the game. Vikings now reclaim a lead, 22-21. Gilbert left side gives outside. Banks 3-point shot. No good. BJ Colley tips out the rebound right there. Vikings have a 5-on-4. Coach is telling him to push it. Colley drives inside. He's looking for a kick, but he had a double team right there. Ripped from him. Banks on the Banks left side. Ned was there. Rebound right there. Hector, Samad Hector on the offensive glass so far. This game has been dominant. He gets another putback bucket for him. Hector with 9 points, 3 rebounds. Minnis drives right side. Misses the wide open layup. Rebounded Brock Gilbert for the Wildcats. Wildcats with a chance. Backdoor cut to McNeil. Nothing is out of it. Johnson's on the floor diving. Open 3-point shot. Brock Gilbert, he makes it. Central from downtown. And they now lead.
Not a big scorer, but if you leave him open, he will knock down threes.
Ned to answer from 3-point range. He does. Buries it. McNeil with the ball for the Wildcats. Got double teamed. 3-point shot. Hector, he makes it. These teams reining it in back and forth from deep range.
12 already for Samad Hector, who averages just a tick over 11.
Johnson drives right side. Puts it up. Tries to get his own rebound. He doesn't. Samad Hector with the board. Brock Gilbert driving. Left-handed floater. No good. Rebounded Johnson. Vikings going to slow it down now. 6:40 left in this first half, and they trail by 4. Colley, seen this a couple times, backing him down, kicks outside. Give it to him again. And they're going to get a foul right there, and it's going to be an offensive one on B.J. Colley. So an offensive foul is going to mean B.J. Colley picks up his second personal.
We'll see it here in the post, and yeah, we might argue it's embellished, but it is a foul.
Either way, we're going to go to break real quick as the Vikings are down by 4. We'll be right back.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Introducing the new and improved taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now more delicious. Try it now. Zero never tasted so good.
So welcome back here to WECU Court in this first half rivalry match action. So far it's been exactly what we expected. Central Washington and Western Washington battling back and forth, switching leads. Right now the Vikings trail 25-29. And on the tails of Samad Hector, his 12 points vaulted the Central Washington Wildcats into a lead that they are trying to hold on with 6 minutes left in this first half. Vikings trying to answer coming out of this timeout possibly.
Yeah, Vikings got up to such a good start, but offensively have struggled a little bit of inconsistency, and now, as has been a problem in 3 of the last 4 games, B.J. Colley, who has been the primary offensive weapon, 11 points, 5 of 6 in the field, goes to the bench with his second personal foul.
So out for the Vikings, D'Angelo Menace, Jonathan Ned, Nick Velp, Kai Johnson, and Lucas Holden are their 5. Brock Gilbert handling it for Central as they're on offense. Cameron McNeil gives it. Noah Pepper out there. Gets a pick and pop right there from Hector. He'll take another 3-pointer, no good. Rebound Velp. Trying to get the break quick, but Central did a good job to get back on defense. Menace with the ball, Ned. Jonathan Ned, corner Menace. Sets a screen for him as well. Gonna give it down low. McNeil taps it loose. Menace gets it back. Good dish inside. Nick Velp got his defender off his feet. He comes down hard on Nick Velp.
Vikings got a switch, and they had Jonathan Ned on a much smaller defender, but the pass got deflected, and that actually gave Menace room to penetrate. Wildcats collapsing a little too hard on Nick Velp.
Noah Pepper right there. Corner 3, Lucas Holden, and it's actually going to be a 2. See the ref signaling to the scorer's table. McNeil drives, passes tip, Lucas Holden. Turnover right there. Vikings back on offense, down by 2. Holden drives, looking to kick it somewhere. He'll get it to Kai Johnson. Johnson trying to clear the paint. He'll pull up from 3-point range, 2 for long on it. Lucas Holden was there for the rebound, but neither side able to handle it, as it'll go to Central.
I mentioned Noah Pepper in the game. His father, Ryan, the all-time leading scorer in Central Washington history. Over 2,000 points somewhere. His uncle, Jason, was also a great player. They played together in the early 90s on some very good Wildcat teams.
Inside right there, Matt Paquette with the bucket as there's a press for McNeil. Menace almost lost it. Noah Pepper, a redshirt freshman for this Wildcat team, so he's got some years to work with to try and, match his family's.
He's got some work to do, I tell you.
I mean, he's got the right training and, people around him and his family to teach him how to do it right.
Yeah.
So right here, we're going to get a foul on, I believe, Cameron McNeil with a shove right here. Central up by 4, 31-27, but Jonathan Ned heads to the free throw line. 4:51 left in this first half.
Yeah, Ryan Pepper was a very talented scorer from day one. He could hit threes, he could penetrate. Just an outstanding player. Unfortunately, do remember that. So how he beat us a few times.
Jonathan Ned hits the first one. Hornbuckle he came sprinting down the scorer's table to try and get the sub in.
Not going to pass up the opportunity to get a dead ball, was he?
You know, he didn't start tonight, so, you know, he heard his coach call his name right there. He boom, boom. Jolted off the bench, and he's in. So Ned nails both of them. That's what he does well. He's a great free throw shooter for this team.
Good touch for a big man, isn't it?
It's something about Jonathan Ned. Of course, he's the Georgia transfer at Georgia, and then, of course, he went to a community college before that. He actually played guard for those two teams, so when he comes to the Vikings playing forward, that's why we can recognize him as a big man with kind of, you know, those soft touch on the jump shots. He's used to playing along the wing. D'Angelo Minnis, driving kick right there. Hornbuckle, through the leg, step back, no good on the free throw jump shot. McNeil in transition for the Wildcats. Drives, left-handed layup. Ned was there. A tip-in by Matt Paquette.
Tony Dominguez arguing that thing was still on the rim. Paquette's hand was not over the cylinder. The ball may have been sitting on the rim. It's hard to tell from here.
Central leading by 4. 3:50 left. Jonathan Ned with the ball. Little turnaround spin jump shot. He's short on it, though. And a rebound right there by Central Washington. McNeil gets it back. 3-point shot for McNeil. Too strong on it. Rebound Paquette. Out to Brock Gilbert. Gilbert guarded by Hornbuckle. Drives, kicks Pepper. Corner McNeil. McNeil on Minnis. Spinning around. Kicks outside. Pepper for 3. Too long on it, but another offensive board right there from Samad Hector. He's all over the place. They're going to give him a 3-point shot. Can he make it? He does. Samad Hector's on fire for Central Washington, and that's going to force a timeout. Samad Hector, 15 points, in Central Washington leads by 7, and we'll be right back with a quick break.
When I learned about the Sustainability, Equity, and Justice Fund, it was this large sum of money for students to make Western a more sustainable campus. I was in the rec center just kind of thinking about this. People are working out super tough, and all this kinetic energy is wasted. I found out that there were products there on the market that would generate energy for Wade King Rec Center, and just wrote the application for the grant.
It's not about generating electricity in order to feed electrons back into the grid. It's really about educating students. Making that bridge between theory and practice is really key to what we do at Western.
You're getting thirsty, bold, refreshing. So good. I mean, dude.
So welcome back here to WECU Court, where you see our little Vikings putting on some moves during the break. The Vikings got to put on some moves if they want to come back in this first half, down by 7 with 3:12 left. Samad Hector, 15 Central.
His season high is only 19, and he's well on the way to that. And it was against Langara, and there's a whole bunch of guys across the GNAC who have had their season highs against Langara this year.
To do it in conference play would be a huge accomplishment for him. He's a junior, and right there, 3-point basket. Daniel Hornbuckle trying to get on track here, trying to get his teammates too. Gilbert with the ball shut down, gives out to Pepper. Back to Gilbert, down low. McNeil kicks outside, passes tipped. Gilbert, top of the key. He'll take a 3-point shot, and he makes it. Central Washington on fire from downtown.
He only averages 5 points a game. He's got 6. And again, he is a guy that if you leave open, he'll knock down a 3.
Right there is going to be a foul, and it's going to force 1-and-1. See on the replay, Hornbuckle getting his first 3-pointer of the game. His First bucket of the game as well. So the foul sends Lucas Holden to the free throw line. He went 2 for 2 earlier. And so far in this game, Central Washington, they've already made 6 3-pointers. This team averages 6.5 a game. So to do that in the first half, helping them find this lead against the Vikings team. And we're used to seeing the Vikings shoot it well from downtown. They're averaging about 10.5 a game, but so far only 3 in this first half. But they're not shooting it horribly, 37% from downtown. See if they try and chuck up a few more in the second half, maybe to switch a game plan. Either way, they're down by 5 now. Central handles it. Approaching 2 minutes left in this first half. Brock Gilbert, left side. McNeil, guarded by Velp. Driving, step back, mid-range jump shot, buries it. Cameron McNeil.
One way to get your first bucket. Very confident from Cameron McNeil. The transfer from Radford.
Hornbuckle with the ball. Corner right there, Gary down low, Holden kicks outside. Kai Johnson thought about a 3, drives though. Pump fake corner. Gives it back out to Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle, 10 on the shot. Hornbuckle, 3-point jump shot. Hits front rim on it. Shot clock will reset to 20 for the Vikings though. Minute and a half left as they settle it down. Kai Johnson. Dominguez calling out the play for them. Kai Johnson drives the right side. Euro step, hands off. Velp shot is blocked. Blocked by Matt Paquette. And McNeil has the ball for the Wildcats. McNeil drives inside, lost the handle of it. Regained it though, kept it alive. Paquette, elbow, jump shot. So he gets the block and the basket. And Central now leads by 9.
Oh, big switch there.
A little bit of a 4-point swing all by Matt Paquette. As we're under a minute now. Kai Johnson gives the Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle calling for a screen. Pick and pop action. Nick Velp, he'll have an open 3-point shot. He buries it.
Nice.
Pick and pop action. Nick Velp gets his first points of this game.
About a 3-second difference between shot and game clock here. It kind of looks like the Wildcats will work this down as much as they can. We've seen a lot of high screens for Gilbert here, and many times he'll shed that screen, not really even use it, and kind of go the other way, or the roll will come early, and here comes Matt Paquette.
Here comes, he'll take this one, and then he drives right side. Closing out was Darius Gary, but he got him on the arm. So Brock Gilbert goes to the line for 2 shots with a chance to add 2. See the drive right there, the help a little bit too late for him.
So accepted the screen that time, turned the corner quite nicely, and good half for the 2 primary guards for Central, Banks and Gilbert. Neither of them are big scorers on the year, but Banks is averaging about 6.8, Gilbert about 5, but Banks already was 7, and now Gilbert was 7. So they've had very good halves. The leading scorer, the wing player, McNeil, only 2 points. So Wildcats getting it from different spots.
And Gilbert with 6 assists as well, being the facilitator. Vikings trying to get a last-second shot up. Nick Velp will have a chance at a 3-point shot. No good. So that's going to do it for the first half, and the Vikings are trailing by 7, 44-37. Samad Hector for Central Washington putting on a show as the Vikings try to answer. And after a long break, we'll be right back here on Vikings TV, rivalry matchup.
You're getting thirsty. Bold. Refreshing. So good. I mean, dude.
Introducing the new and improved taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now more delicious. Try it now. Zero never tasted so good.
Ethan, are you ready? All right, you can go 3, 2, 1, go. You got 25 seconds left, Ethan. You're already in our rhythm. No problem. Take your time. Hang in there, Ethan. You're good to go, baby. You still got some time. Step back, hit that three-pointer. 3 seconds, 2, 1, and then go one more time. All right, then give it up for Ethan. You're down 2 of the shot. So Ethan, you walk away with extra dollar deposited to your account. Then if you would like to be contested in the new WECU Shoot for Loot game, don't miss your opportunity. Attend Viking games regularly and you may be the contestant we select. Josie Jojo Cardinelli for the scores table, please. Josie Jojo Cardinelli to the scores table, please.
So as we get ready to get the second half underway, some first half highlights right here. Vikings down 37-44. Their last lead so far in the game, 33-32. Central Washington closing out the first half strong. Both teams going in, making their adjustments. We'll see what they got dialed up for us here in the second half. Zen Hill joined by Butch Kamina here on Vikings TV.
Well, really the key is keep B.J. Colley out of foul trouble. 11 points for him in just 10 minutes of play. He got 2 fouls, both of them offensive fouls. When he's been in the game, it's not just that he's scoring, but it's opening up other things. When he's been out, it's been a little bit stagnant. Now, maybe other guys will step up too. Boy, at the other end for Central, what a great half for Samad Hector. 15 points and then 9 for Matt Poquette, and they got good contributions from the backcourt with Banks and Gilbert, each scoring 7. And we see here the stats. Field goal percentage, a little bit of an edge for Central. 3-point percentage, not a big difference. Boy, that rebounding number is key. A 23-16 edge for the Wildcats, and 10 of those on the offensive boards, just 3 for Western. They're getting those extra chances, which has been a big difference in the first half, especially when turnovers and other things are essentially even. Then let's give people one other update here. Late in the third quarter, a women's score from Seattle. The Vikings 35, Seattle Pacific 35, and one that has gone back and forth very tightly over the last few minutes. The Falcons had a lead at halftime, but Western has come back in this third quarter, overcome a 7-point halftime deficit. So we'll continue to monitor that, and we should be able to get you a final, as they are a handful of minutes ahead of us here tonight.
And for the women's basketball team on a 13-game winning streak, and in this game so far against Seattle Pacific, Brooke Walling, 9 points. Perfect shooting, 4 for 4 from the field, as well as a 3-pointer reined in for her. 4 rebounds, 3 blocks. That's what Brooke Walling does for this team. We know it. They'll be fighting their way towards a victory, hopefully. We will keep you posted on that. But as this second half gets underway, 30 seconds away from it, the Vikings sending out the same starting squad we saw from this first half. They're going to have B.J. Colley out there, as you mentioned. It's been a focal point for them on their offensive attack, whether it's getting the defense to move off ball and freeing up open lanes for their other players, or just downright having him back down his opponents and get a tough bucket. They're going to need something either way. Vikings shooting 41% from the field. Got to keep that consistent shooting up and just maybe start raining in some more threes like we've seen them do all year. They're taking less this first half than we're used to them seeing.
And let's give some of that credit to the Wildcats. They only allow people to shoot 32.9% from 3, only give up about 7 a game, which is not a huge number. And they do a good job of denying the 3, as Brandon Renta's team does. And so Western has to find ways to overcome that.
And we're underway here in this second half. D'Angelo Minnis with the Vikings as they get the first ball to start it off. B.J. Colley down low. Steps through, kicks corner. Kai Johnson, little pump fake, drives right side, right-handed floater is good to start off the second half for the Vikings. Gilbert dribbling it up, had to give it over to Paquette. Paquette handling it now, the big man at the top of the key. Paquette will drive, take it himself, guarded by Velp. Kicks outside Gilbert. Gilbert, top of the key, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Brock Gilbert getting the screen, that high screen roll we've seen. Gilbert kicks outside. Thought about a 3. There's 3 Vikings jumping and defending right there.
That's a great defensive possession. The ball got down to Paquette. Well, Velp did a good enough job to force him to kick it back out. They tried to reset, and by forcing the extra pass, ended up getting the shot clock violation.
Samad Hector had that 3-point chance before 3 Vikings closed out on him and forced that pass over the corner, but it wasn't enough time for the Wildcats. The Vikings are back on offense with Minnis getting it down. B.J. Colley. Colley working it back. Minnis, 3-point shot on the wing is good. D'Angelo Minnis, the Rocket, brings the Vikings within 2. Wildcats are quickly back on offense. There's a slam from Samad Hector. Both these teams moving back and forth quickly. Minnis drives left side, high off the glass, no good, but he got fouled. He's going to go to the line. Samad Hector
Couldn't see
the
through
foul.
the traffic there. Let's get the replay as Menace headed to the line, and Hector maybe making some contact there, and maybe D'Angelo being a little off balance and being able to sell that a bit too. For being completely honest.
He'll get the first free throw right there. Menace with 4 so far in this game. 1 for 4 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3. But he drains both free throws, so it's still a 2-point game. Wildcats with the ball. Paquette dribbling it down. Isaiah Banks with the ball. Samad Hector trying to find the cutter. Gives it back to Banks. Banks on the wing, drives on Holden. Turns around, fadeaway mid-range. Jump shot is good.
Oh.
Good job right there, Isaiah Banks, to create separation from the big Lucas Holden and get that jump shot off. D'Angelo Menace mid-range jump shot. No good. Rebound by B.J. Colley. Puts it back and one. A tough basket from B.J. Colley, and he'll go to the line.
Such a good sense of where the ball comes out. How many times have we seen him get these little putbacks, and just his sense of timing and his sense of position is just outstanding.
We've seen it a couple times this game where he's making those putback layups right after he's grabbing those rebounds. He's not even coming back down. He's grabbing it, putting it straight back up.
We saw the one against SPU where he got the full jam off of one of those.
Exactly.
Now he shoots free throws that look like they're going to go 20 feet in a coal mine, but that one still goes down.
So the Vikings trail by 1 now after the 3-point play from B.J. Colley. Brock Gilbert handling it. Menace is there. 3-point shot from Hector. He makes it. He is just on fire.
It is his night.
There's a hand in his face, and he's still putting it down.
20 points, 4 of 6 from 3, 8 of 12 overall. A season high for Samad Hector.
And he's got plenty of time to add to it. Kai Johnson for the Vikings has to kick it out to Lucas Holden. 15 on the shot clock.
Plenty of time here to get a good look. See if we get high screen and roll. Here comes Velp.
Menace up top. Gets the right side screen. He's got the switch on him. Step back. Corner to Johnson. Puts up the shot. Too long on it, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. No rim on that one. Central will get the ball up by 4 with a chance to add to it.
And a little bit like what the Vikings did at 1 and the Wildcats are able to do here. They force the ball back out, and on the reset, make them run down and not get a good look.
Isaiah Banks handling it. Gilbert on the wing. Screen from Paquette and roll. Kicks it outside. 3-point shot. Hector, and he missed. A rare miss there from Samad Hector. 4 for 7 from 3-point range he is. Johnson gets it down. B.J. Colley backing down. Colley kicks outside Johnson. They're going to try and get it back to him. B.J. Colley. Hector hits the deck. And that foul right there is going to be on B.J. Colley. Second time we've seen him call an offensive foul, backing down.
Get a look again.
And right there.
There is contact.
Exactly.
Samad Hector's not flopping. He might be embellishing a little bit, but it is not a flop. I mean, there is, and B.J. Colley's arm comes out a little bit as well, so there's definitely something there.
B.J. Colley, 3 personal fouls. 16 and a half left in the second half. Colley leading scorer with 14 for the Vikings. There's a pull-up jump shot right there. No good from Banks, but an offensive rebound keeps the possession alive. Hector, 3-point shot. No good. Another offensive board. McNeil is swatted away. B.J. Colley and the Vikings are on the break. D'Angelo Menace driving. Kicks outside. Nick Velp swings far side. Lucas Holden. Holden drives in. Had the ball stripped from him, but Velp keeps it alive. Shot is blocked. Matt Paquette. And most of the time, we're seeing Central Washington play just as good defense as the Vikings are. And that's going to force a timeout as Central Washington is up by 4. So after a quick break, we'll be right back here on Vikings TV.
So good. I mean, dude.
There are people across Whatcom County who will remember the late Haynes Fay and his line, the running one-hander. Was never really sure what it was, but that is a running one-hander by Kai Johnson. Really nice little finish there, that little floater.
And it's a signature we've seen from him all season as he's slotted himself into this starting lineup. Been a great addition to this Vikings squad, bringing the energy and a quick pace. So the Vikings have the ball coming out of the timeout. Their shot was just blocked by Matt Paquette. They had a good defensive effort on their side, but Wildcats answered with just as well as one on their side. And Central Washington leads by 4. 5 on the shot clock. Colley drives in, little right-handed shot, no good. Rebound, Matt Paquette. Gilbert with an outlet pass to Hector. A good catch right there. Showing off the vertical. Swatted away, BJ Colley. Once again, we see him block one. D'Angelo Minnis drives inside. Little mid-range jump shot. Puts it in.
That was
Vikings
nice.
trail.
Step back, creating that space to get that shot off over the taller defender.
D'Angelo Minnis with the bucket. Vikings down by 2. In the corner is Hector. Swings top of the key, Paquette. Gilbert gets a screen from McNeil, turns it around though. Gets a screen this time from Paquette, pick and roll. McNeil coming, 3-point shot, rims out. Rebound by Lucas Holden. Vikings with a chance to tie. D'Angelo Minnis gives to Nick Velp. Velp mishandling it. Lucas Holden, set foot, 3-point shot, barely rims out. And the Vikings squad needed that one. There's a good outlet pass to Paquette, a good catch, turnaround, and a bucket. Central back up by 4. Isaiah Banks pressing Minnis. As D'Lo dribbles it around, trying to get something going here for the Vikings. Holden drives left side, open lane, left-handed layup, almost smoked it, but he rolls it in.
Just soft enough from Lucas Holden.
Central's back on the attack quickly though. Isaiah Banks, high floater over the swatting arms of BJ Colley. Colley was looking for his 3rd block.
The pace has picked up all of a sudden here, hasn't it?
Both teams firing back and forth rapidly. Kai Johnson, spin move, drives inside, left-handed put up, no good. Rebound by Hector, outlet to Banks. Banks working around Minnis, 2-on-1. He gets the contact and the foul on the shot, so he's going to go to the line as that one's going to be on Lucas Holden. Holden his 2nd personal. See the replay right here, that Lucas Holden layup. Went up with it a little late and then, luckily enough, buried it down for him. Isaiah Banks to the stripe for Central, buries the first one. Isaiah Banks only a 64% shooter from the charity stripe so far this year for Central.
He's had a very solid night, 12 points, 5 of 10 from the field, hit some tough shots.
Playing some good defense too, 2 steals. Misses, 2nd one, so he goes 1 for 250 on that. Central's up by 5, 13:45 remaining in this 2nd half. Minnis kicks outside, Velp, corner 3-point shot, he makes it, Nick Velp.
His 2nd tray of the night, and the Vikings are within 2.
Gilbert with the ball, he kicks outside, Paquette from 3, way short on it. Vikings get the ball back.
Only his 5th 3-point attempt of the year, and his 6th. He's tried 2 tonight. None of them have gone.
And an early in the shot clock one right there as well. As BJ Colley has it down low, and he gets tripped up right there, and that's going to be a block.
And so the call that Samad Hector has gotten, Matt Paquette did not there.
That's right. Hector has had both of the personal fouls that BJ Colley has been called on him right here.
Ooh. And they have teed up Matt Paquette for a flop.
So some technical free throws coming here.
Enough to be able to.
So going to the line is going to be Daniel Hornbuckle to take the 2 technical free throws. Vikings will get the ball as well.
Okay, so correction, it was not a personal. Okay, there was no contact, so there's no personal foul. He gets the tee for the flop. We get the free throw, and the Vikings will retain possession of the ball with a chance to take the lead here. And we now know the difference between embellishment and flopping, apparently.
Yeah, right? We've seen Hector and Paquette do it. Now we know the difference. BJ Colley spin move gives the Vikings the lead. Vikings up by 1, 57-56. BJ Colley, 16 on the game. Vikings' first lead since the first quarter is 7 minutes remaining. Paquette drives, lost control of the ball, but they got a foul on Jonathan Ned. You see BJ Colley here on the offensive possession just now. A little spin move right there to get around Mitch Brizzi.
Beautiful little spin back.
So inbound is Gilbert. Right there is Gannett. Puts it up. Tough basket right there. Central. Hornbuckles for the Vikings. Gets the screen from Colley. He's double teamed in the corner. Gives the Colley. Gannett. Good read right there. Intercepts it in transition. Steps through and finishes through the arms of BJ Colley.
Solid finish there. Beating 2 defenders. Holden down low and Colley up above.
A great steal as well. Colby Jeanette. Minnis with the ball for the Vikings. They trail by 3, 12 minutes left in this game. Colley spin move around, little under. Layup is no good. A good move, but he couldn't finish behind the head. Little dish off right there to Brizzi. He gets the foul and 1. So the basket will count. He's going to go to the line. Foul was on.
Credit on that as we go to the media timeout is Brock Gilbert, who gets the hockey assist, so to speak. And then Paquette laying it off to Brizzi for the lay-in as we go to the break.
Introducing the new and improved taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now more delicious. Try it now. Zero never tasted so good.
So welcome back here to WECU Court, where the Vikings now trail by 5. They grabbed a lead real quick. As you see our Between the Break Poppin' Pepsi Music Challenge right there. The song was Dreams, Fleetwood Mac. Answer the song right, you get to take the layup for a chance at a Vikings prize pack.
1976, I think.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. So shooting the free throw at the line is Mitch Brizzi. He had the and 1 finish. Foul was on BJ Colley. Colley picks up his 4th personal and he heads to the bench for the Vikings. Vikings now have Jonathan Ned, Nick Velp, D'Angelo Minnis, Hornbuckle, and Kai Johnson out there.
See, the Vikings can generate some offense with Colley off the floor.
They haven't been too successful so far in this game doing that.
The weapons are certainly there to do it. Just need to do a recalibration here, get a couple good looks.
They get the foul right there. Colby Jeanette called on the push. Inbound to Minnis. Minnis in the corner. D'Angelo Minnis gets it down low. Jonathan Ned. Ned with 13 on the shot clock, driving in. Fade away, one-handed shot is good.
Nice move. Knew he had the height advantage. Got himself to a really good spot and just elevated over Matt Paquette. Nice finish by Jonathan Ned.
Jonathan Ned, 9 points coming off the bench this game. There's a good drive. Brock Gilbert gets the easy layup.
A high pick and roll after high pick and roll after high pick and roll. It's not deceptive, but it's effective.
And they're running it over and over again. The Vikings looking to do a little bit of high pick and roll themselves. Kai Johnson spins around. A good move right there. And a tough finish
and
over
George
Colby Jeanette.
Gervin-like finger roll.
A beautiful finish by Kai Johnson. Johnson now puts his total up to 9. Paquette down low, dishes it off to Brzee. He finishes it down low, so Central still up by 6. Hornbuckle moving around, gives it to Ned, handoff. Jonathan Ned, open left side, got it tipped though. Isaiah Banks hoping over and knocking the ball free from Jonathan Ned's hands. You see that spin move right there.
Oh, that's pretty.
And a finger roll.
Take us back.
Pretty finish right there with Kai Johnson. Johnson with the ball as well. Hornbuckle now on the wing. Clearing out the left side. Gives it Nick Velp. Velp from three-point range. Downtown bucket. Nick Velp. Nick Velp, 9 points, all coming from downtown. 3 3-pointers. There's an answer right there, Brock Gilbert.
12 points, 9 assists. He leads the GNAC in assists at 6.3.
And you can see why so far in this game.
Only had a couple double-digit games this year. He did have a big one against Fairbanks in their win a week and a half ago. So
likely going to see him hit that this game. Minnis putting a move on right there. Hits Hornbuckle. Down low to Velp. Velp working down low. They're going to get a foul down low. Mitch Brzee. So the Vikings keep the ball on the floor. You see Nick Velp with that.
The defensive rotations for the Wildcats got just a little out of whack there, and McNeil didn't step, and leaving Velp open for his 3rd tray of the night.
And all 3 of Velp's 3-pointers have been relatively open ones, whether it's coming from that pick and pop action or, like you said, on those rotations. Kai Johnson spinning around, fade away from the mid-range shot. Might have been tipped right there. Good defense by the Wildcats. They're back on offense, up by 6. Brock Gilbert handling it. He's going to try a long one. It's tipped by Johnson. Rebound Velp. Minnis with the ball, gets the screen. Defender switched over. Minnis with the ball. Putting a move on, drives, gives the Velp. Back out Jonathan Ned.
So Ned going to run the point on a double high here.
10 on the shot clock. He drives in, mid-range jump shot. Falling down and making the basket. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor. So the Vikings still down by 4, but battling their way through it. We'll be right back here on Vikings TV.
I would summarize my experience at Western as I was a guarded, nerdy kid who loved to perform, who allowed herself to put in the time and the effort to carve herself into something.
Jump in the trunk, jump in the trunk,
Okay. And whatever that was has led me to where I am right now, to be a fully realized woman. And I'm really thankful for the time and the effort that I put in for myself, because if I didn't do it, no one else was going to.
You're getting thirsty. Bold. Refreshing. So good. I mean, dude.
Welcome back to Sam Carver Gymnasium, the 264th meeting of Central Washington and Western Washington. And our next broadcast against Saturday, 7 p.m., the Viking men will host Northwest Nazarene, the second of a 4-game home set for the Vikings, a critical point in the season here. We reach the midpoint of the conference season once we get through this weekend. And Northwest Nazarene and Western tied at 3 and 4 in the conference going into tonight, so this is a critical one.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Western Washington tied with Northwest Nazarene. The Vikings came into this game in a 3-way tie for 4th place in the GNAC, but after Western Oregon beat Alaska Anchorage, there is now only a 2-way tie for 4th place, but pending the result of this one, those standings are subject to change.
4 through 9 is really jammed up. It is very tight.
Can really go either way. So the Wildcats have the ball up by 4. Gilbert with the ball. He's guarded by Ned. 8.5 left. McNeil drives, kicks outside, passes tipped by Lucas Holden, but they win it back. Jeanette, three-point corner shot. He got fouled on it by Kai Johnson. And Colby Jeanette is going to go to the free throw line for 3 shots here. So Colby Jeanette so far in this game, 6 points, 3 for 6 shooting, hasn't been to the line yet.
Tony Dominguez got up off the bench, didn't argue the foul, just said, hey, that wasn't a 3. And the officials are going to go have a look at this now and double check if Jeanette's feet were on the line or not. And we've seen a couple of those tonight. And Western was Isaac Morrow and Lucas Holden have had up what we thought might have been 3s turned into 2s because of toes on the line. So we'll see if we've got another here.
It's worth taking a look at either way. So far in this second half, Vikings have done a good job shutting down Samad Hector. Haven't heard as much from him as we have 8.5 left in this second half. Vikings still trailing by 4, just can't seem to get over that hump. They're staying in about that 6-2 range every time, not taking a lead. We did see them reclaim it at 57-56, but now have lost it and trail by 4.
Hector got a couple buckets early in the half, but lately it's been more about the play of Brock Gilbert, the transfer from the school formerly known as Dixie State, now Utah Tech down in St. George. The 5'11" guard from Syracuse, Utah, has 12 points and 9 assists. And now Jeanette at the line.
And after the review, he is going to shoot 3 as he drains the first one. So a big chance to extend this lead now. So far, the Wildcats' largest lead was 9. And they led 43-34 back with a minute left in the first half.
Jeanette's had a pretty effective performance off the bench here as he gets the trifecta. He's up to 9 points, 7 of them in this half.
So the Vikings trail by 7 now, as the Wildcats now have a full court pressure on the inbounds. Vikings get it across with Minnis. Lucas Holden on the wing, gives down low, Jonathan Ned. Ned gives it to Minnis. Minnis in the corner, trying to find something, 14 on the clock. Ned working, pulls back, mid-range jump shot, no good. Fighting for the rebound down low, we're gonna get a foul called.
Somebody shoved Lucas Holden.
I think they might get Isaiah Banks on that one.
You going English on us? If we were in the aisles, that would be Isaiah, but see a little push there.
Yeah, getting him with the elbow a little bit down low. Jonathan Ned inside, unable to finish. Isaiah Banks now in transition for the Wildcats. McNeil, top of the key, 3-point jump shot, no good. Offensive rebound, Hector, there's that man, he puts in a bucket.
Welcome back.
Exactly. He heard us. He's like, What did you say about me? You said I haven't been doing anything in the second half? Well, here you go, offensive board and a putback. That's what I do.
22 points, 9 rebounds.
Jonathan Ned inside with the contact and 1. Just what the Vikings needed right here as they try to stick in this one. As the minutes wane down. Chance for 3. We're going to have a media timeout on the floor before we get this free throw from the Vikings. So after a quick break, we'll be right back with that Jonathan Ned free throw.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Introducing the new and improved taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now more delicious. Try it now. Zero never tasted so good.
So welcome back here to WECU Court. Jonathan Ned, these last few possessions, trying to take things into his own hands. A little fadeaway, spin around, and one. Send him to the line. He's got a chance at 3 when we're coming out of this break here. So 7:42 left in this second half. Vikings trailing by 7, trying to put something together.
And BJ Colley is back in the game for Western.
4 personal fouls for him.
7:42 to go. Jonathan Ned, like we said, very proficient the last few minutes here, getting the ball in the block, finding a lot of different ways to score.
So Jonathan Ned makes the free throw there. Now the Vikings only trail by 6. Wildcats with the ball, 7.5 left. Gilbert, the assist maybe over to Poquette. No, he's unable to finish, so D'Angelo Minnis gets it back for the Vikings. D'Lo, 3-point shot, he makes it. D'Angelo Minnis.
Big shot by D'Angelo Minnis, and the lead is down to 3.
Wildcats trying to answer. It seems like they have answered every time the Vikings get a big shot. Brock Gilbert with the ball, and they're going to get Minnis with a foul. So Central Washington keeps the ball, and it's not 1-1 just yet.
No, so this is the 16th foul both ways now, so we will see free throws from here on in on those common fouls.
And they're going to be crucial ones here in such a tight game, and that's going to force some good defense right there from the Vikings. Is going to cause a timeout. We're actually going to keep things here, though. And right now, we had mentioned earlier with women's basketball against Seattle Pacific, currently after 2 Avery Dykstra made free throws, they lead 55-53 with just 30 seconds left in that game. Currently in a timeout. Seattle Pacific will have the ball. See if Seattle Pacific will be holding that for maybe a last-second shot to tie, go to overtime, or win the game. So close games for Vikings basketball here, home and away.
And big games in both ends. You know, the women trying to stay atop of the region, and the men here trying to get a nose up in a very tight GNAC race. And you know, with 6 teams getting into the GNAC tournament, you're hosting that tournament. Boy, getting a win tonight would just be huge for the Viking men. You know, and if you can come out of this weekend 2-0, even better.
These Vikings men starting 1 of 4 straight home games that they will play. You're going to see them here next Thursday and Saturday next week. 10 on the shot clock for the Wildcats. Hector down low, gives it to Poquette, kicks outside. McNeil, 3-point shot from the wing, no good. Rebound BJ Colley. He handles it. Kai Johnson now for the Vikings. Johnson dribbling around. Gonna settle it for the Vikings here. Maybe looking for a screen from Colley. He won't take it though, but he drives right side, and they're gonna get a foul right there, but no bucket. But it will be 1-1.
On the ground, yeah.
So Kai Johnson will go to the line for some free throws. So the foul was on Jeanette. So 1-1 for Kai Johnson. Johnson so far in this game, 9 points. He misses that free throw right there. Holden tried to tip it out, but the Wildcats get it. They're now back on offense. Hector, top of the key, gives to Gilbert. Brock Gilbert working left side, trying to drive through Minnis. They're going to get him on a travel right there. Gilbert's a little shaken up.
Boy, that's just the 6th turnover. You see him trying to drive, and Minnis gets there, and he kind of drags that foot and lands a little bit awkwardly.
Now he's tying his shoe.
Common thing you do. If you twist the ankle a little bit, just tighten up the shoe and play on,
You
right?
know,
Boy,
keep it together for 6 minutes.
really, the Vikings with 9 turnovers, a pretty good, pretty low number. Central with just 6.
Very clean game from both sides. Maybe not necessarily in the foul category, but turnovers at least.
Rivalry game is going to be physical, right?
Exactly. Jonathan Ed for the Vikings hits the deck, but Minnis keeps it alive. Minnis drives right side. He got it tipped loose, and it's going to go to Central Washington. 5:54 left.
Apparently it rolled off of his hand last as he tried to split the defenders there. Vikings have interesting. They clear out Gilbert and will let Branks bring the ball up the court against Lucas Holden.
They'll get it to
And
Gilbert,
now
though.
Gilbert comes back, and we will get the standard high pick and
High
roll
pick
from
and roll.
Poquette.
Switching sides. Gilbert, though, gives it up. McNeil drives right side. Blocked! Shot sent way down. BJ Colley.
We're back in volleyball season.
I saw that plenty of times calling volleyball rising
Yeah.
up over the net.
That's
You have Chloe Ritzesender up there.
beat me to it.
BJ Colley, his 3rd block. And with 4 personal fouls, no fear for him rising up against the defender. Central with the ball still, though. Hector with the ball. Johnson tips it free, but he gets it back. 5 on the shot clock. Hector working on net. He got through. Colley almost had another block rebound. Paquette puts it back in. Central leads by 5 with 5 minutes now. Pass inside. BJ Colley settles, slams it one-handed. A nice find by D'Angelo Minnis and a good catch, BJ Colley.
18 points, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks for BJ Colley in just 21 minutes of play.
Phenomenal game for him. Gilbert drives on him. Colley almost got the chase down on him. Good thing he didn't get a foul, though. Johnson gives back to Colley. Colley outside Johnson. Johnson's going to pull it back, and they're going to set it up now. Vikings in need of a good one here. Gives it to Colley. Colley working around, little spin move. Tries to step through, goes straight through him. No good, though. Rebound Central Washington. Brock Gilbert with the ball, holding on to a 3-point lead. Just not letting the Vikings get close enough to take that one back from them. Gilbert driving around at the top of the key, spinning around. Gives it up to Banks. Banks on the wing, down low, Paquette. Matt Paquette kicks outside to Brock Gilbert. 5 on the shot clock. Paquette's got to put up a shot right here. He does, and he makes it. Good composure from Matt Paquette to put in the mid-range jump shot.
And of course, BJ Colley with the 4 fouls. Can't crowd him too much. Still a nice stroke by Matt Paquette.
15 points for him as well as 10 rebounds. A double-double for Matt Paquette. Right there, Ned drive, shot was blocked. Matt Paquette, good defense. Central Washington now leading by 5 with a huge bucket maybe coming here. Banks mishandles it, has to give it up to McNeil. McNeil right there is going to get an offensive foul, and the Vikings get it back.
And while there have been some that you've wondered about a little bit tonight, McNeil just swung the forearm, sent Lucas Holden to the ground.
So we're going to get a timeout on the floor, 3:37. We'll be right back. Vikings down by 5.
When I learned about the Sustainability, Equity, and Justice Fund, it was this large sum of money for students to make Western a more sustainable campus. I was in the rec center just kind of thinking about this. People are working out super tough, and all this kinetic energy is wasted. I found out that there were products there on the market that would generate energy for Wade King Rec Center, and just wrote the application for the grant.
It's not about generating electricity in order to feed electrons back into the grid. It's really about educating students. Making that bridge between theory and practice is really key to what we do at Western.
You're getting thirsty. Bold. Refreshing. So good. I mean, dude.
Welcome back with Central Washington holding a 79-74 lead, and we have a final from Seattle. The Vikings pulling out a 58-53 victory. Avery Dykstra, 17 points, hit 5 out of 6 free throws in the final minute, and Maddie Grandboyce with a big steal underneath the basket with Seattle Pacific having an opportunity to tie to sort of seal the victory, and a big win, 14 straight, 14-1 for the Vikings, who now have another tough road game at Montana State Billings on Saturday. And we're back here in a tough one too. 5-point lead for the Wildcats. See if the Vikings can tuck it in. Back to Zen with the play-by-play.
Vikings with the ball. Lucas Holden in the corner down low. BJ Colley. Defense is collapsing on him, trying to break it loose. Colley handling it. We're going to get possibly a jump ball here. And we do. And it's going to go in possession of Central Washington. Central up by 5, get the possession of the ball too. Vikings in need of a stop. Central shooting 47% in this game so far. Vikings matching that though. But so far this game, Central almost out-rebounding the Vikings by 8. Seen it on the offensive glass plenty of times. Vikings have played a good second half, but so has Central Washington. Central Washington not making as many three-pointers as we saw in that first half. Neither of these teams really shooting it too often from beyond the arc. Some inside the paint buckets over and over. Some good drives, mid-range jump shots, and here's McNeil with one of those mid-rangers. He doesn't make it though, so the Vikings get the ball back. D'Angelo Minnis the Rocket with the ball. See what he can do for his team. He gives to BJ Colley. Back to Minnis now. We're under 3 minutes here. Minnis working on Banks. Dribbling around, gives a little floater up, and it makes it in.
I don't think he initially intended to shoot that. I think he wanted to throw the lob to Colley. Saw it really wasn't on. The last second adjustment to finish that. Wow.
And a good finish it was right there as D'Angelo Minnis now with 12. Vikings trailing by 3. 2.5 left. And Gilbert mishandled it, and that's going to be over and back. Brock Gilbert, huge turnover. The Vikings will get the ball. You see this, D'Angelo Minnis.
Maybe not.
He had his eyes on BJ for a second.
Yeah, he at least was looking. Maybe he made that decision a little quicker than I thought.
Maybe a little.
Maybe he's just smoother than you and I too. But.
The man Minnis with the ball again for this team. Handling it all night. Pick and pop to Colley. Outside Jonathan Nett. Can he tie it up? He does! Vikings tie it up. 2 minutes left. Central with the ball. We're 79-79.
17 off the bench for Jonathan Nett. And he has just been outstanding in this half.
Gilbert with the drive, stolen by Ned. Vikings have the ball. D'Angelo Minnis settling in it, puts a move on, step to the side, three-point shot, no good. Vikings have to get back up on defense. Took an early one in the shot clock there. McNeil with the ball, and we're going to get a timeout from Central Washington. We're going to keep things here, though, for this timeout. 1:40 left. We're all tied up. We might be in lines for another classic matchup here between these two rivalry teams.
So many games over the year that have come down to Jalen Green last year. Richard Woodworth hitting from half court. Well, it is, in fact, a 30 now. So we're Rico Wilkins with a length of the court drive. Simon Dubiel, a Seaholm grad, hitting a game winner for Central here in the late 90s. Just so many epic performances in this series. It's just been, and we look like we're set to maybe to see another game winner here. Just the history of this rivalry and the years is, you go back to the late 80s and the old NAIA days where they'd play each other twice in the regular season, and 3 straight years went to 3-game district finals to get to the national tournament in Kansas City. And almost every one of those games sold out, and just crazy atmospheres. And not as big a crowd tonight, but the enthusiasm and the drama, very similar.
Some deep history between these two programs. The game everyone always wants to see the most. You circle it on your calendars. You know it's going to be a good one. Central with the ball. Minute and a half left. 15 on the shot clock for Brock Gilbert. Almost pulled up from 3. Paquette, pump fake, and a foul. I think they're going to get it on Lucas Holden, though, and not B.J. Colley. We're going to see what they call it. Yes, it is on Lucas Holden. A lucky break right there for the Vikings to not have B.J. Colley getting fouled out.
Good swipe by Lucas Holden, because if he doesn't slap him, Colley's getting the 5th foul. Because he's all over Paquette's back.
Yeah, B.J. Colley definitely got up there and was coming down onto Paquette, but Holden got the arm in there to draw the foul. Paquette with a free throw as the Viking faithful get a little bit loud trying to rattle him, but he makes that first one.
Really good night for Matt Paquette. 16 points, 10 rebounds, 3 block shots, a couple assists. He's rarely been out. He's played 34 minutes tonight of the 38 or 39. It's what you expect from your veterans, right? A guy who's been a key part of this program, for 4 years, and boy, knocked down both free throws.
Great composure right there from Paquette, giving Central a 2-point lead. Minute 20 left. D'Angelo Minnis for the Vikings gives up to Holden. Johnson with the ball, drives inside, dishes off to Colley. Colley inside, kicks outside. D'Angelo Minnis, 15 on the shot clock now, gets a screen, takes it right side, steps it back. Jonathan Ned now got a defender to jump, step through, dishes off, but it's stolen right there by Gilbert, and I think Ned should have taken the layup, but he dished it off, and it's a turnover. Under a minute now, Central up by 2. Vikings need a stop here with Brock Gilbert handling it.
So they'll work this down. They'll have to shoot with about 30 seconds on the game clock. Kai Johnson on Gilbert, and we would expect Paquette to come up and set that screen to one side or the other. This time it'll be to Gilbert's right.
Central looking for a dagger. He drives inside. Gilbert, reverse layup. What a basket. Brock Gilbert with a tough finish, and the Vikings got to go quick now. Minnis drives inside, looking for a teammate out there. He finds Ned. Ned step back, thought about a 3, sets a screen for Minnis. They got to get a shot off here, 20 in the game. Minnis drives inside, floater, no good. Rebound Central Washington. They're going to have to foul right here and send him to the line. Jonathan Ned does. Brock Gilbert will go to the free throw line with 12.7 left in this game, and Central is up by 4. Brock Gilbert went 1 for 2 from the line in his last. Central shooting 75% from the line this game.
And on the season, including those, just 15 of 23, so in the 64-65% range. Not an outstanding free throw shooter, although it is small sample size.
Makes the first one.
And the grimace on his face, he got back iron. It went in pretty easily, but he didn't think he'd made that.
Not the exact release he wanted right there. Central up by 5 now. .7 left as Central getting ready to maybe send someone else in. Vikings with the ball, missed free throw. Lucas Holden, Vikings got to get up a shot. Lucas Holden, 3-pointer, no good. Vikings trying to get a rebound. B.J. Colley, is it all too late though? Kai Johnson outside. Lucas Holden puts up a shot. He makes it, but either way, the Vikings are going to lose this one, and they're going to drop to 10-8 on the year. 3-5 in the GNAC. Central Washington now moves up to 3-5 in the GNAC, extends their winning streak to 3 games straight. In this game, Samad Hector, 22 points. Central Washington taking the victory. Butch Kamina with some stats for this game.
Yeah, Samad Hector, 22, 17, and 10 for Matt Paquette, and a big game from Brock Gilbert for the Wildcats. 15 points, 9 assists. For the Vikings, 18 points, 7 rebounds for B.J. Colley, 17 points for Jonathan Ned, 12 for Minnis, 11 for Holden, and maybe the key thing, although it closed at the end, the Wildcats' advantage on the boards, 39-32, 15 offensive rebounds, and they made the plays down the stretch. A couple free throws by Paquette, a big lay-in by Gilbert, and the Wildcats were able to hold on to get a key row victory and a stinging loss for the Vikings.
Vikings' 2 top scorers playing under 25 minutes, Jonathan Nett and BJ Cawley. So Vikings will lose this one, but they'll be back here on Saturday, taking on Northwest Nazarene. It'll be a 7 p.m. start time. We'll be here on Vikings TV once again for a close one. The Vikings trying to battle into this second half of GNAC play as they try to stay in those top 4 and maybe move on to the GNAC championships. Either way, we will see you here Saturday night, 7 p.m. on Vikings TV. Go Vikings.